Okay, welcome back. Now in the last video, we prepared ourselves for doing a MOWG run on a T2H page. So now what we're going to do is actually do the first version of that, the easiest one. Okay, this is for basically newbies, right? We're going to just go ahead and start. So here's how we're going to do this. I want to log in to my panel, choose my page that I want to do. Now, I want to MOWG the page, and I feel like MOWGing the home page because I believe that this is very sellable and that this is a very good opportunity for people to call me, to contact me by email, to see the points I have, and to catch on to my top 4 leading pages I want to send people to, whatever they are. Okay, and to see my whole menu. I want this available on all of those thousands of pages. I don't just want the page to start lower, like if I go to some other page, it starts here. Okay, now that's okay. That's not a problem. I'm not telling you what to do. You can do whatever you want, any page you want. But I would like to do it on my home page. So I need to temporarily change my home page into variable content, basically, and then do the MOWG run and change this back to its normal home page in the end. So how do I do that? Okay. Well, first thing I need to do is create a backup of the home page that I can use to revert back to the normal setting in the end, right? So I'm going to copy this home page. Okay. Boom. Now I just copied it, and you can tell it says home again, and it's the same page except it's got a -1 at the top. Now that's no good for my purposes because if I look at that page, wow, it does not have all the stuff we want. By the way, that's this one. It's in the menu now. I don't want it in the menu like that. So I'm going to take it out in a minute, but let me just show you. The home page has all this, except with the second home link now, it shoves everything off alignment, right? So how do I deal with that? Okay, well, go into your related page that you just created. Okay, it's like your backup page. Now, instead of it being a normal page with a menu link, which means a normal page with a menu link, okay, we're going to change it to a page without menu link. Okay, I'm going to update it. I even update and reload now. I don't need to. I can just update. Okay, refresh. There, that hid that second page, the backup page is no longer there. This is the real home page, but now I can start to do my stuff on this page. Get it? So I can start to do my stuff on this page. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go into my home page, my real one, the one that says index.html, not index-1.html. That's my first copy. Okay, I'm going to go into index.html. I'm going to go into it. Okay, now here's what I want to do. I want to spin this thing for MOWG purposes. Okay, so I'm going to use this, the spinner. Okay, and what do I want to do? I don't want to create a unique variation and put it in the content area. I want to download the spin text, which is spun text in this case, but that's what I want to do. I want to download the spun text so I can run it through my MOWG toolbar and then put the results back in the page. That way I get the MOWG'd version of the page. Okay, so first thing you do, download spun text. Okay, use API. Okay, and we just wait. It'll take a minute or so, and then we'll see it pop up. In my case, I'll see it pop up down here. You know, it'll let you know when it downloaded. And then what we're going to do is run it through the process. There it is. That's cool. So I can close this now. I don't need it anymore. And I don't need to do anything with this yet. Okay, I can close my other tabs if I want. I don't need to. I'm just doing it. Okay, I'm going to minimize this. Now here's the point. I got my spin text right here. So watch. I'm going to create a new project, or just call it whatever, you know, Bob-PL for Bob the plumber. What do I know? Okay, I'm going to go in here. Okay, I'm going to move this spin text in here maybe just so I've got it together. That way I can keep stuff for archiving if I want. Now I'm going to create a new Excel sheet, right? I'm going to open it. And what can I do? Flip on MOWG Toolbar 18. I can convert from spinner syntax because that's what I downloaded. Let's take a look. All right. This is all the spinner syntax. You can probably recognize it, okay? This is what came out of the spinner. It doesn't mean it's the best variations I want. Normally, I would spend some time on this manually and make it better yet. And the tokens you see that are here are the tokens that we use intentionally inside of T2H. That's beautiful. We're going to be able to Moji this thing around the T2H token so they can still work on the T2H side separately from the way I want the MOWG pages to work. This is really an amazing thing, okay? That way the MOWG vars don't get mixed up with the T2H vars. They actually operate differently, and that lets this work. All right, let's do this. I'm going to select all and copy it. Okay, you can do it also by edit, select all, edit, copy. Right now on here, I want to double click in the first cell, double click so I can see my cursor blink. That way, when I paste it in here, it'll all go inside the one cell. Okay, now I can check mark it. Now, what's the difference between this and if I just like went paste? Okay, sometimes it works coolly and sometimes it doesn't. Don't ask me why. Sometimes it'll paste the values into each cell separately. I do not want any chance of that happening. So I double clicked to get the blinking cursor, and that way I could paste right in. I saw it all word wrap and everything to the end, and I could hit OK, the check mark. Okay, I don't need it twice though. All right, I do have it in once. So now what do? It's in spinner syntax, standard spinner syntax. Most of you know that, right? That's where you have your curly bracket that's got its choices separated by pipes, and then the end curly bracket, right? Well, let's convert from spinner syntax. Wow. Awesome, I did it. Now, I can make changes right here if I feel like it. For instance, the first thing that catches my eye is there's an alt tag for an image. I know what that is. And since I do, and since I know it's an SEO thing I might like to deal with, then I can make some room for it. I like there to be a word or two in there, you know? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to insert to more columns to put that last double quote. I'm going to take it off of here and stick it here, okay? That way I can put something in the middle, all right? And that might be keywords, plumber, plumbing, who knows what, right? Whatever I want to go with the alt tag, you know, page by page by page. It can be one thing or many things. It doesn't matter. It can be whatever you want, okay? Plumbing company, okay. Yes, it can be more than one word. That's what I'm showing you. It can even be like emergency plumbers, okay? You can have whatever you want in here, okay? All right. Now, all of that is correct. Now, do not have any extra column. See, this would be a mistake. There's nothing here, okay? Don't let the bleed over fool you. If I double click here to stretch it out, okay, you can tell better that there's nothing here. Don't let that happen. That's a stray column. We're not allowed to have them, okay? But anyway, there you go. This otherwise is done. Okay, all I really had to do was paste it in the first cell and convert from spinner syntax. That's pretty much it. The last thing I do to get the job done is hit header generator. And it just made the HTML page I want and the CSV file I'm going to need later for Moji. Okay, so I can close this now. Okay, I can close this too because I don't need this either anymore. And what do I have? I have the spin text. I can keep it or throw it out. I've got the new Moji Excel worksheet. I can keep it or throw it out because what I really needed was this var sheet on the end, which is finished for Moji purposes. And I need this index.html page to have the basic stuff I wanted in here. Okay. So I can toss out what I don't need or just keep it in an archive, or, you know, some people will even do something like this just so they can see better. Okay. And you might do that if you ever want to come back to it. Okay. Now, I could do some cleanup on this index.html file or not. For instance, it bolded everything down here pretty much accidentally. There was a coding issue. I can deal with it here, or I can deal with it back in my page. Why did I close it? I don't know, but I'm going to go back in. Pages, home. Maybe I closed it to show you you can go back in. All right, let me close the other tabs if I want. Don't need to. All right, whoops. So what can I do now? Well, this index page has all of the stuff I wanted in the source code version. Okay, so I'm clicking source code because I really want to get rid of all the source code. Remember, I did a backup, so I already have a backup that has all the source code. Get it? Wow. Now, Where is the source code I need? The MOWG source code that goes with the vars. That's the point. This index file goes with that var sheet. These are matched up, okay? They're matched up. That's what makes this cool. So I need the source code of this HTML page, right? There it is. There's the source code. And I can take it, copy it, paste it in here as source code, and hit source again to get back to the normal view. Do you see that? It preserved the image. It's got all the variables. It preserved all of the T2H variables, the global variables. And it's got the, this is an H1 tag. This is paragraph. It's called normal. This is an H2 tag. And if I go down, it's back to paragraph. Now, I don't know what happened here that made this whole thing big like that, but I can work with it. YP, I think this is YP more than you have to, and I can create a break to separate it from the next thing down. This is an H2. That's cool. I want that. It's a header. But now I'm going to highlight the rest of this thing, and I'm going to make it normal. BAP. Now it's normal. Now the only other thing I might not like about it is that the sitemap text is text now instead of the actual sitemap link. And so you may have to doctor that up. Those of you that know how it works can do the coding yourself. And one good way of doing it probably is going to be like this. Watch this. I'm going to try to do it without doing anything technical. First, I'm going to make it a new paragraph. So break it off, highlight it. I want to align it to the right. I want to make the size a little bit smaller, maybe like font size 10. I want to go too small. Now I want to make a link, okay? And I could just about do anything for the link. Let's just say sitemap.html, okay? Wow. Now look what I got. I've almost got it perfect. I've got my sitemap text, but it should say, if I hit source, now it's familiar to me. It shouldn't say sitemap.html. It shouldn't have http sitemap.html here. What should it be? It should be the other token, sitemap link, okay? Because that's what I have for it, all right? And flip it back. There I go. That way, if I have values, then they show up. If I don't, they don't. See it? That's kind of cool, right? All right. So I've got everything I need back in the page just the way I want. I can hit update. Now, you might be thinking, and you'll remember this in a minute if you forgot, okay? If I go to the front page of this thing, okay, now my front page doesn't make a lot of sense to read because it's all MOWG'd, okay? But this is the coolest thing. We didn't MOWG the stuff we don't want to MOWG. We don't want to MOWG this other stuff. It gets in our way. We could later, but we don't need to. And this is fine. If I want to keep doctoring it, I can. Let me go in here. See where it said the $60 new customer discount? I can do something with it now as long as I don't change the vars. I can, for instance, highlight it in yellow. Okay. I can I can bold it. Matter of fact, how's that? Bold, I could even make it a different color, whatever it is I want to do. Okay, I'm just kind of doing overkill so you can see it, right? And I can update and reload or whatever. Just kind of make sure I get this the way I want is the point. Okay, just small stuff to get this to look the way I want. Okay, might be just what I want. All right, now having done that, okay, and if I want to create extra spacing for anyone that's wondering, yeah, you can do that, of course. If you want to make that a whole new sentence like that, update and reload. It's good to update and reload just in case you do something a little off still or you want to check variations. There, how's that? That's even cooler, right? That's the final sentence and it stands out better. Maybe that's what you want. That way it says, why pay more than you have to? Then down here, our $60 new customer discount, right? Which was a promo variable, by the way, where I put 60 in the global variables. There we go. So we obviously don't want the page to look like this forever. It's the front page of the site. You can't read this. But we can MOWG this now. We can use it, download it for MOWG purposes. Well, this is the link. Okay. Watch. Let me close out. Okay. I'm in my project again. Now I'm going to create a new Excel worksheet because I'm going to do the job on import web page on my Moji toolbar. Ready? I'm going to import that web page I just created. New combine, and I could paste it in if I saved it, except watch out. If you know what you're supposed to about the Moji toolbar, no trailing slashes like that, and no http:// in the beginning, and no www dot unless you have to, okay? Just it's supposed to be the domain itself. If there's a subdomain, leave it in there, okay? Let's hit OK. Okay, and just continue. This is showing the same subdomain, and we need to use the images and the var sheets, or I'm sorry, the images and the CSS files and everything on the page. Well, they're stored in the same place. The copies of all that are now made inside each subdomain or project folder where you're working, which is cool. It's actually very, very useful. You understand more about it later. You can work with different clients, so one can say, I want red page background. The other could say, I want blue page background. And the coolest thing is you can actually control them individually, even if you're hosting them all on your own server. So for guys who are interested in doing that kind of thing, getting other guys to rent from them the pages by the month, then you can do that and still make everyone's sites look different. Okay. I'm done with that. And yes, I want to overwrite the index page because that's the updated version of the index page now. It's not just the version. I can save this. I'm done. Look, now it's not just the verbiage that was in the block with no fonts or anything, no style. Now it's the whole thing the right way. Okay, so this, it looks like it's on the website, but it's not. It's my own. You can see it says file, C drive, user owner desktop, my page, and everything looks right. The background, the links, all of these links still work. They will go to the pages on the site. Okay. If I click them. Thought I clicked it. So let me come back. Let me point it out. It all works. Okay. So now what can I do? Well, I want to get this back to normal on the website. I want to get the front page back to being a regular front page. Okay, so let's see about that. Watch. Let's go to our pages. Okay, now I want to get the right content back on this home page, but I want to save this as a MOWG page just in case. I want to come back and use it. So why don't I make one more copy of it? This is the one with all those variables, right? I can make one more copy of it. Okay, I'm just showing you. I mean, there are different ways to do this. I'm just showing you different things. So I'm going to call it MOWG. No, I do not want it to have a menu link. I'm going to just call it MOWG, like MOWG.html. Okay, that way I just know it's there. It's not connected to anything, so even Google cannot find this. All right, but that way I've got a backup of all this stuff, right? It's my MOWG page for this kind of a run. I could even call it something like MOWG-home, so I know it's a MOWG version of the home page. Okay, MOWG-home if you want, Okay, that way I know. Okay, ready? Just update it. Now, I did that and I have it and it's here and it's hidden. So now what do I need to do? I need to put the right content, which is in this backup page, the index-1, into the regular home page. So I need to open both of these pages. So let me right-click one of them so I can open in a new tab. Okay, it's got all the right content. Now let me open the one with the wrong content, my main home page here. It's got the wrong content, okay? But I got a backup of it now, so I don't need it anymore. And I want to put the right content in here. Again, don't just copy the outside of it, It's not going to necessarily have the right information for stuff like the picture. Go to the source code. That's the exact information you need. So on the other page, go to the source code, and that way you can click in here and select all, right? I don't know if you can do it from up here. It'd be interesting if you could, but I'm going to forget about that. I'm going to just Control A to select all. By the way, if you don't click in here first, if you Control A, it'll select like everything. Click in here first, right? And that's how you deal with it. If you do have everything selected, just click and you're back to normal. But when you're clicked in here, Control A, that way you can backspace. Then flip, click in here, Control A, Control C, Go back, paste, Control V. Now the last thing is something I noticed at the last minute, and that's this. What's with that? That's, oh yeah, okay, that's normal. See that? That's my image alt. At least I want to put something there for the image, right? I mean, that's just normal, proper SEO stuff. So I'm going to say, you know, like I could do it that way. I could say city plumbers. So watch this. This is going to be for my homepage, right? So I may as well get it right. City plumbers. Plumber. How's that? Plumber. People looking for a plumber, not multiple plumbers usually. They're not looking for a directory. They're looking for a plumber. And if I want to do emergency, I can put that at the beginning if I want. I could put stuff like that in here. Emergency. Okay? Whatever I want. But now I have something for my alt tag. Some combination of static words and any variables I feel like. Okay? Source code back. Update. And my normal page. Whoops. Let me close this. I don't need it anymore. My normal page. Click. Is back to normal again. Okay? And everything is the way it's supposed to be. Okay? Now, that means I can close this. I can continue doing my job in here. I've got my proper index page and my var sheet, so I don't even need this new Excel document anymore. I don't really even need the archive anymore. I could toss it. And I'm not saying you should toss it. I'm just trying to keep it simple because you're new to this maybe. And I just want to make sure you can follow along and know which files are the most important and what to do with them. Okay. All right. Now that I'm done with that, let's just say I want to start actually producing pages that I can upload. And let's just see how we can do it the simplest possible way. Okay. Just the most direct way. All right. Let's open Moji Pro. And actually, there's a better way. Ooh, do I want to show you that or that? All right, forget it. I'm going to show you this. This is going to be the first thing we're going to do. One, T2H-MOWG. Guess what? I'm not even going to do that yet because we're going to get to that. Okay. Let me open Moji Pro. Okay. Just follow my steps here. This one T2H-MOWG is awesome. I'll explain that later, but it really is. It's going to take a little description too. Now, I need to find some information. Okay. Watch this. I need to find the HTML file. That's the base HTML file path. I need to find the var sheet. That's the base, well, the vars file path. I need to know where I'm going to put this back up, which is going to be the same place I pulled it down from, actually. You'll see. I need to know how many files I want to create. Well, I'm not going to bore you with page generation, so I'll just make it 20. Okay. But you could do 100, 1,000, 10,000, 50,000. Just depends on how much RAM you have on your computer. I clocked 100,000 pages in about 45 minutes on my computer, just to give you a clue what's possible. Now, we're not going to upload to FTP server. It's a little more advanced. We'll get to it in a separate lesson. Okay. So all we need is click, find our project, desktop. What folder were we calling it? What's the name? Bob PL. Okay, there's our HTML page. That does that job. Now that it knows what folder we're in, it assumes that the var file, the CSV file, will be in the same place. And it is. Right? Because we put them there together. They're just there naturally. Now, where do we take it down from? I'll just tell you, new combine dot theme to html.com. That's where we pulled this page in from. That's all I need. I need to know where it came from, really. It's really about where we're putting it. But in this case, the simplest kind of a run, we're going to put these pages we create, these 20 new pages, or 200 or 2,000 or 20,000, in the same place we got it from. It's just the easiest possible run. Okay. Now, I'm going to bypass everything else and just hit next. Okay. Now, you're not going to understand anything about this. First thing you should know to do is hit refresh vars. And it's probably, well, if it doesn't want to refresh, forget about it. Oh yeah, it did refresh because this version of the run, we set that up ourselves. So it caught the right information. All right. The simplest thing I'm going to teach you is this. This is the simplest possible thing because this is called the URL breakdown. We have a whole video on it. We've got training on it. There's a lot of strategy to it when you know how it works. But when you don't know how it works and you're just trying to get started, then here's what you can do. See that ID column at the top, ID-0? Put it in the field over here by hitting the right arrow. So first highlight it, then move it over. That's really it. Okay, I'm going to check the keyword box because you have to have a keyword. Then, just to avoid the fact that this is highlighted, which can be glitchy, that means that if we save it, sometimes it won't save the keywords. I'm going to just click back off of it, like over here or over here or over here. It doesn't matter where. Just don't leave a checkbox box checked that's highlighted too. Click off of a checkbox. Okay, that's all I need to know. Now, where are we going to put these keywords? Because if I want to save the keywords that I'm generating, and this isn't useful, but it's necessary for Moji, that I do a keyword file, I got to create a keyword folder for it, okay? Well, this is easy. I'm just going to browse, and I want to put my keywords with my project, say, normally. So I'm going to highlight that thing, Bob-PL, but I want to put the keys in a subfolder, right? So that they're just saved separately. So I'll call it keywords, whatever, just something in there. So highlight the folder you want, hit make new folder. It'll put the folder inside. That's what it did. Now you can highlight the right folder and hit OK. Guess what? That's the path. Okay. So you don't have to think how to type it in. Just by browsing and selecting, it figured it out for you. Now, don't do anything else. Do not hit this or anything. Just hit process. And guess what it's going to do? Just created my 20 pages just like that in about a second. I can hit OK. I can close it. I don't even have to save it. Okay. Now, you cannot save it this time. And the reason you cannot save it, okay, is because you have a lot of holes still. These are not filled in, so if I try to save it, it's going to act broken, okay? There's just no way I can save it, so forget about saving it. But it did create those pages, and so if you know where to go, okay, C drive, right? This is where all the pages always go on your computer, unless you change it. It's MOWG Pro folder down here. Well, wherever it is in your C drive, MOWG Pro, okay, runs. And it's showing me just date timestamp folders because I haven't created a particular name for the folder yet. Okay. Again, I'm keeping it really simple for you. But here you go. The most recent one is date timestamp. That's like February 14/14. It's February 14/14. The time 3:46 in the afternoon, 6:24 and 33 seconds. Well, that's now 6:25 now. That's got to be it. And guess what it has? 20 unique pages. Okay, just started the numbering at 0 instead of 1. Don't ask me why. And down here, it's got the index page, in case you want an index page, if you need one. A backup to the index page that should have the original information on it. That's the idea of the backup. Okay. It's got a sitemap link to show all of those. That was the idea of the sitemap. You can put the sitemap in that folder now, the new combined.theme.html.com. You can put the sitemap there in that folder, and all of a sudden all those sitemap links will work if you did engage them. This is the sitemap.txt page, which you can actually use to submit your new sitemap to Google Webmaster so Google can catch on faster to your pages and go check them out. Okay. Now, this is kind of yucky. These pages are just numbered. There's no cool URL nest to them. Okay. There's no, and even the meta tags, for title and meta tag description are all the same, right? Like if I look at 6 and edit, and I look at what it says for the keywords, the meta description, and the title, okay, it's going to be the same thing that it says down here. Now that means all these titles are the same, the meta descriptions are the same, the meta keywords are the same, although no one cares about keywords. Even Google doesn't care about keywords. But Google does care about the meta description, and Google does care about the title. Okay, we got to make sure those are different on all the pages, so that'll be our next kind of a topic. It'll come up soon. I'm going to show you something else.